And now, what are the steps to follow? Please go to the photocopy handout that you will be given by the teacher. It's divided into 3 different columns. And the first thing, the most important thing, is to know the character you will be analyzing. So once you know by the teacher's instructions which one it is, enter its name in the corresponding box. For example, now let's go into the task. First, study the scene and collect useful evidence. In this case, what you need to do is to find lines from the play that illustrate each technique, and you need to write them on the corresponding box. This is an example. I chose the following quote. Please, Signor Gremio, allow me to continue. I am a gentleman of Verona, sir, who, hearing of your daughter's beauty and wit, her friendly disposition and bashful modesty, her uncommon virtues, and her mild behavior, have taken the liberty of presenting myself as a guest at your house in the hope of seeing for myself if what I've heard is true. Well, remember that since it is a quotation mark, you need to make sure that the line appears in between quotation marks with the correct spelling and no modifications in the original version. So once you have it, you need to verify that this corresponds or is showing the technique, the characterization technique used by Shakespeare in this particular case. In here, I'm going to underline specific sections of my quote. Okay, I hope this has been somehow clear. The second step is, once you have completed the collection of evidence, to move on to explain the perception that as a reader you have of this character based on the evidence that you have selected. For this, I'm giving you some help. Please use appropriate vocabulary taken from the character trait list attached at the back of the handout that you're working on. Let's go back to the same quote. So, first of all, remember to add quotation marks at the beginning and at the end. And remember to pay attention to spelling and to the way words are written to avoid any changes and misunderstandings. What should I do now? I'm going to be based on some specific ideas mentioned by the character, and based on them, try to analyze the type of person that he is, like a psychologist, trying to observe his patient. First word from the character list. Alright, these are some examples of the many uses that you can give to this character trait list, but the most important thing is that you express, that you write sentences about the effect that Shakespeare's use of characterization techniques and the portrait of his characters causes on the readers. What do we as readers perceive about the characters based on their traits? So finally, now that you have collected the evidence, that you have analyzed it, and that you have candidates for becoming part of your cast, put everything together in a display that should look like this one. It's a kind of curriculum or resume that you're going to present to the board of your company in order to be approved for starting calling the actors and casting them and beginning rehearsals. So this is an example. Here on the left you see a picture of the actor with his name right below, and the character that he would be playing. With a short description that can be taken from the profile and the analysis chart that you constructed. See, here we have short sentences but using clauses to make the description more clear and improve the style. About the assessment, this is going to be a formative task. It's going to be graded as an analysis task, which corresponds to criterion A. And here I'm giving you the main parameters to get a 7 or an 8 mark. So the first thing to do is to use the character trait list and avoid the repetition of words. You have more than enough words in order to refer to a character, and as I showed you in the example, the idea is to provide as many words as possible, as many character traits as possible. I would say a minimum of 3 per character. Then you're going to select, or you must make sure that you select your evidence accurately and use different quotes in each case. I don't want you to repeat a quote and take it as an example of different characterization techniques. Third, please make sure that you write the quotes carefully without mistakes or changes in them. Add the page number and quotation marks to begin them and finish them. Please write clear explanations through complete and well-constructed sentences. Remember the use of clauses, punctuation, spelling, capital letters. Make your explanations. Make sure your explanations include the traits reveal, as well as the emotions or possible thoughts or beliefs generated in the readers. This corresponds to the example I showed you. So according to the way Petruchio speaks, what can you say about him in terms of his personality, the way he thinks, the way he feels, what he believes? What are your beliefs about that character? Alright, I hope this tutorial has been useful. You will have 2 class hours to complete your task. So, time to begin.